The next card you have is your immediate future. So throughout the month of December, and you have the Eight of Swords. So the Eight of Swords is about self-doubt. This is about imprisonment. And so it's interesting. Who got this? I think it was Aries got this card too. And I said, look, she's going, oh, I'm going to fall into the swords. But no, she could like walk out the front door and out of the building. And so this is saying, look, if you're single, don't have any self-doubt. Believe in what you're doing. Let's say 2 or 3 months ago, you were getting a ton of dates, right? And now you've kind of weeded out the pack and you're listening to the signs and you're figuring things out and you're seeing things clearly and you've got this logical head. If you're only getting 1 date a month or 2 dates a month, that means you're getting quality, not quantity. And so don't start doubting your process. Because I think that because you wouldn't be working so hard here, I think that somebody's coming. And like you're on edge of knowing that, but you're also imprisoning yourself in this self-doubt of, is it going to happen? I feel like you're working so hard and you're going to be like, why is it not happening? When's it going to happen? But like I said, it's going to come fast. So this month, I think you're going to be pondering like, well, what's going on? I'm meeting like not great people again, or I've only met like 1 person this month or 2 people that are interested in dating. And you've got to be patient. Don't start self-doubting and self-sabotaging. You are in control. She's in control, she or he are in control here because you just are. You're coming into the month, Capricorn, with all the power. And you're this king that everybody wants to be with and looks up to. So believe that. Don't get distracted in the middle of the month and start sinking into the 9, which comes next, which is anxiety or fear or depression. You've got this. Slow your roll, and when it comes, it'll move fast, and then you can be lightning speed. If you're looking to reconcile, you are imprisoning yourself in this whatever this is. And that sigh that I just had a minute ago is telling me, if you don't want to be with this person or you have anxieties with this person and you're not getting the flutters anymore, you're just getting that negative Nancy feeling when you think about them, you're thinking that without them, you couldn't be magnanimous, you're wrong. And I think that you need to start looking at that, because I think some of you just do not need to continue with this person. And it's unfortunate because most of the reads this month have been kind of positive with reconciliation. But I feel like Capricorn, like I'm squeezing my eyes shut right now because I feel like you guys are literally sitting here going, I know this is not good for me. I know I need to move on. I'm the one keeping myself locked up in this. If you want to reconcile with this person, you contact them, be this ace and say, look, this is what we need to do to change things. This is where we need to be. I will sacrifice things that I need to. I've gained some knowledge about what would make our relationship happy. But if you wince in the thought of having to go through that reconciliation period with this person, then it's probably not for you, because you should be feeling the flutters of excitement of just seeing their face or being able to have a conversation with them. The next card you have is any external factors, so things that are tangible throughout the month. And you have the 10 of Pentacles or coins. So again, Capricorn, you're showing up very strongly in your own read today. Because again, this is another earth sign card. The 10 of coins is about excess, abundance. So you are working very hard at your career. You're figuring out other ways of making money. You're also saving money or trying to. For whatever reason, it's saying that finance has been a big deal for you this month and maybe the past month or so. If you are single, this also says, look, you're wanting to have a legacy. You're wanting to leave a legacy. You're wanting a great relationship. You're wanting, this connection that is far beyond just a friendship, dating, sleeping together, friend with benefits, dating occasionally. You're looking for somebody to marry. You are looking for somebody to have kids with. You are looking for somebody to spoil and enjoy. Spoil not just financially, but spoil somebody with your love. You are looking for somebody to just wholeheartedly love and dote on and be attentive with. And you want that in return. But it's interesting, Capricorn, because that's not usually the feelings you get. You're normally like, okay, I want somebody who likes similar things to me, somebody who has a decent job, a car, kind of along the lines of what you offer. But this is you really saying, I'm really ready to give my heart to somebody, which is really good, Capricorn. And it's not the general earth sign type scenario. And yet I just feel like it's busted out of you. Like, I can't help it, but I just want to kiss his or her face. I want to meet somebody and make out. I want to meet somebody and hold hands. I want to smile from ear to ear because they make me so happy and I make them so happy. So it's kind of nice. It's like a childlike innocence, kind of that, you know, first date kiss, butterfly fluttering in your stomach. You want that. You're craving that. And that's a really good place to be, because I really think you're going to get it and it's going to come really fast. And I laugh because I think it's going to hit you really hard, like a ton of bricks. If you're looking to reconcile, this is saying, this is also about your legacy, but this is kind of like, see, they're playing chess, right? And there's all these puzzles moving, and you either need to move on with your life and create a new set of games, you know, create a new chapter, or you can sit and go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and end up in the same situation that you've been in. It's almost like this is your time now to really look at where you're going to be in 10 years. Think about, where are you going to be in 10 years with this person versus where are you going to be in 10 years if you wipe the slate clean and start anew. I'm not saying that reconciliation isn't possible, but I'm saying you need to look at your legacy. You need to look at what you want to be doing in 10 years, and could you see yourself doing it with this person? The next card you have is anything internal that you're going to feel throughout the month. Now, both of these, this external card and this internal card, which is Strength, which is an awesome internal card. The Strength card, both of these cards, so the external and internal, these could be in the beginning of the month. You could feel this throughout the month. This could be 1 day, it could be 10 days. This is how you're going to be feeling throughout the month of December, and it's Strength, which couldn't be any better. I mean, these right here are power players. This is, the Strength is saying, look, patience, which the Hanged Man is somebody who has to have patience because you've already been there, done that, and you know the only way to get what you want is patience and to sacrifice your time and your energy and finding what you want, and going and getting it, because you harness this control and this power to make these changes that are going to come in, and you're already nesting for it, like we talked about before. So if you're single, the Strength is saying, look, have that patience and self-belief and control. These cards, this card, this card, this card, this card, these are all self-belief. These are all knowing inside yourself. This King has, like I said, people wanting to be around them. You just may not see it. And the Strength is saying, look, if you feel like this, like, oh, I'm not meeting people, I'm not getting what I want, patience, believe in it. And again, you're controlling the situation. You can start going out and dating. You can have that friends with benefits relationship that you've had in the past. You can go out and date whoever just so you can say, you know, just so you can make yourself feel like you're getting the attention or you're getting these dates. But that's not what you want, because you want quality over quantity, like I said before. And the Strength is saying, look, hold on, believe it will come. You're putting a whole new energy out into the universe this month. Allow it to take some time to sink in, because you will start seeing the benefits of, you know, what you're doing and how hard you're working at yourself and your job and just being the best Capricorn that you can be. If you're looking to reconcile, you also have to have this self-belief, but this is saying you're in control. And I really feel like you need to shed or get off the pot. And I know that's terrible to say right now, but that's the first thing that wanted to come out of my mouth. And it really does feel like, Capricorn, you know you hold the control. You know if you want this person back, you can get it. Even if they're ignoring you, even if you have tried contacting them, you know that if you pushed, or you know if you showed up, or if you know whatever, that you would get what you want. So what the real question is, what do you want? And do you want that with this person? And if you can't answer immediately that that's where you want to see yourself in 10 years, then maybe you need to make some changes to finally see your destiny. The next card you have is your hopes and fears for the outcome of December. And you have the Six of Cups and your actual outcome for December. And you have the Ten of Wands. All right, so the Six of Cups immediately, if you're single, is telling me that you're revisiting. You are looking back on your childhood going, I remember grandma and grandpa had this great marriage. I remember mom and dad had this great marriage. Or I remember an aunt, an uncle, a brother or sister. You're looking back, reflecting on times when things were good, or positive relationships that you've seen, positive relationship role models. Maybe you've even asked them, because the hangman is somebody who's saying, look, you're wise and I want to gain that wisdom. So maybe this is just saying that you've paid attention. You've kind of watched the show and you're looking at everything in your life saying, man, what was the happiest times in my life? Or who were the happiest marriages I remember? Or, what were the happiest relationships I had? You're also looking at kids. If you have kids, like let's say you're a single parent, you're looking at somebody who's got that same kid energy, somebody who embodies the need as a parent to make our kids happy and to be with somebody who has those same feelings, that love and emotion that, that you have as parents. And it could be pet parents. It could be, stepkids or whatever. But this is also saying that, you're maybe remembering your childhood and you want to now proceed to bring this legacy of having kids into the world. And you want to find the right person. That's why you're working so hard. That's why you're taking the time and being patient, and you're kind of controlling the outcome now, because you're not going to date somebody who seems like they'd be a flimsy parent. You're not going to date somebody who seems like when the going gets tough, they wouldn't be able to change 20 diapers. You know what I mean? And so this is saying you're really looking for that happy future, and you've seen people have it in the past, and maybe you had a really good childhood, or maybe there were parts of your childhood that were really good and you want to share that with your own children. It's a really nice, nostalgic place to be for your hopes of December. It really just says you want an amazing person, but you're presenting yourself as that person this month too. So what you give is what you get. And Capricorn, I think you're going to get something really special. If you're looking to reconcile, you also are looking back, but this is revisitation on your relationship. And that's super important because, like I said, I'm getting this feeling that some of you are like just kind of harnessing this power of being able to determine whether you get back together or not. So if it's something you really want, or talking to you or whatnot, then when do you say, okay, if I don't have a conversation with this person, or we don't start communicating in the next 4 weeks, I'm done. There's no more, I don't have any more time to give because I have a life to live. And this is also maybe that, like, you had thought that this person was going to be the person you were going to have kids with, the person you were going to get married with, the person you were going to share those legacies and build those traditions with. And you're debating on, could you still do that? And if you can, great. And if you get those butterflies and that warm feeling and that good sensation, when you think about building that future with this person, then what are you waiting for? And if you don't get those feelings, then what are you waiting for? The next card you have, the outcome, is the 10 of Wands. And the 10 is saying, look, this is about completion. So I'm going to start with reconciliation. If you don't get those butterflies, or this isn't the person you still want to get married to and have kids with, you need to complete the cycle. Know that this destiny's coming. It's going to be a quick change, and move on. Because this is saying you're carrying it now as a burden instead of something that's good. You're carrying it almost as a responsibility. Because you have the power of making it happen, you're carrying it almost as, I just don't know. I can't decide. I don't know. And so stop carrying that burden. Take it off your shoulders. Revisit it. If it's something you still want, somebody you still want, the relationship is still there, can be healed, then go for it. And if not, drop the burden. Not that that person's a burden, but the burden you're carrying because you're imprisoning yourself in this situation. Drop that burden and know that changes are coming, and quick changes. If you're single and you're looking for somebody, which it sounds like, Capricorn, you're looking for the love of your life, and it sounds like that you're probably going to find them pretty quick. Like I said, I'm going to repeat that as many times as I can. Quick, quick, quick. No, I'm kidding. I'll stop. But this 10 right here is saying, look, you're also going to complete something. So for me, this completion is going to be single. You are going to complete the single life. You're going to head into the dating life. Are you going to get married next month? I don't think so. But are you going to all of a sudden be calling somebody your boyfriend or girlfriend in the next month or two? Very likely, Capricorn. Very, very likely. And you know it. Some of you know it. And I know I'm going to get messages from people who are like, no, there's nobody. Fine. Give it time. Have the patience. But some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's so weird because I picture somebody like at the gym or going for a hike, and it's almost like you can feel the energy of somebody next to you or somebody doing it with you, or you're at home and you're watching a movie and you could almost feel this energy of somebody who's going to be sitting next to you. Somebody out there feels it because I can feel it. And if I can feel it, some of you are having that same feeling. But the 10 is saying, look, you're going to complete the cycle of being single for the majority of you, but make sure that you don't turn this into a burden or responsibility. If you are dating and you're feeling lackluster, like you're not finding the right people, take a week off. It can't all of a sudden become like a job to where it is a burden or responsibility, because then you won't enjoy it. So don't ever feel like you're imprisoned in this situation. It doesn't have to be that way. Take a week off. Don't go online. Don't date. Don't anything if that's what you need. Or go out and have fun. If you do have somebody you could date that's just fun, you know it's not going anywhere, do that. Or go out with friends or something else. Don't let it become a burden by the end of the month, because you don't want what's coming to be ruined because it turns into a negative experience again. You've had plenty of negative dating experiences. Don't let it become that again, okay? All right, so let's clarify. I'm going to pull 2 clarifying cards for your outcome and your distant future really quick. Let me move my drink here. Oh, shoot. Your cards, Capricorn, for these Illuminating Prophecy Tarot, the same one I pulled for your theme of the month, they're like falling out all over the place. Okay, yep, we're good. These 2 just dropped on the floor. Let's see what we have. Clarifying the outcome is the Ace of Coins, and the distant future is the 9 of Cups. Okay, I laugh because it's really nice. All right, so the Ace of Coins clarifying, well, of course it's the coins, right? Which is you, the beginning of the earth. It's the beginning of the earth signs, the coins, pentacles. So there you are, Capricorn, front and center for your outcome for the month. The Ace of Coins is about beginnings, opportunity. So again, if you're feeling like Dark Dove, you know, it's not happening for me, it's not coming, I'm not seeing it. This is beginnings, new beginnings, friendship. This is at the end of December. This is your outcome. So if you're single, patience, patience, patience. We talked about this entire, and you might have to sacrifice things. It's interesting because this sacrifice keeps coming up in my head. And I see some of you having to like, you're going to meet somebody who maybe like immediately is like, I really like you. And you're kind of like, whoa, I don't move that fast. Slow your roll. And they're not like, it's not sex, it's not physical. They just genuinely see the spark, and you do too, but you're not as quick to admit it. So you might have to sacrifice that little wall you put up sometimes in order to make this happen. But the Ace is all about new beginnings. And of course, this is an earth sign card. So that's perfect for you because it's beginnings for Capricorn. It's opportunity. So again, you may be having to be patient throughout the month, because you're meeting people, or you're meeting 1 or 2, and before you were used to a plethora of people, but before you weren't being as choosy about who you really wanted to spend the rest of your life with. And now you are. And the Ace is saying, continue that. Those beginnings are coming. Now, if you're looking to reconcile, these are new beginnings and prosperity. So there is potential in this card. There is potential to rebuild that relationship. But like I said before, you know, you want to start proceeding in whichever direction you're going to go sooner than later. Because I feel like if you dwell on this and you kind of keep that power within you, knowing that you can make this decision and decide whether you guys are going to reconcile or not, eventually it's going to fizzle out and you're going to have that burden feeling. So this is about starting anew. If you want to reconcile, the potential is there. But if you still can't get yourself to get on the phone or start really communicating, then the time to change is now, and new beginnings are coming through as well. The 9 of Cups couldn't be any better card for your distant future outcome for the next few months, because the 9 of Cups is pleasure, bliss, contentment, happiness, fulfillment. At the end of the day, this wheel is going to turn, and for the first time in a long time, Capricorn, you are going to feel a sense of fulfillment. And I think that you have been lacking fulfillment in your love life for a long time. And Capricorn and Earth signs like things. They like their work to be fulfilling. They like to be good at their job. They like their friends to be fulfilling. They like to be a good friend. They like all these things in their life to have some sort of place, purpose, fulfillment in their life. and you've been lacking that in your love life. And here it comes. And again, it is going to happen fast, quick. I don't know why. It's going to happen fast, very fast. So just keep the faith. The 9 saying, keep the faith. You might get to a point this month where you're kind of like, ooh, don't, just keep the faith. It's coming. If you're looking to reconcile, cutting ties may be what brings you the fulfillment. Breaking out of that, starting new beginnings, making quick changes may be just what you need to start feeling a sense of purpose again. If you want to reconcile, the potential is there, but there's still some hard work ahead.